There's no way to fight it. The energy behind all of these motions right now, I want to let you know, is God. It's okay that you might not understand what's going on right now. Let go. When was the last time you woke up in the morning and the first conversation you had was to God? God, please guide my day. Whatever you will have done through me today, God, please do it. And we're in a time right now where there's a sort of battle going on between unconsciousness and consciousness, the false self and the true self, God and the devil, okay? There's so many different ways and so many ways this has been expressed, but what's going on right now is really simple, and I'm gonna express it to you in a very simple, short story that I actually read about in a book called The Secret of Letting Go by Guy Finley. It's one of my favorite books. So this short story is there's a strip of metal, and it's a conscious strip of metal in this story. Let's say his name's Jim. So Jim's living his life. He has this whole story about who he is. He's got these beautiful stories he tells himself about what reality is, feeling very comfortable, feeling very safe, everything always staying the same for him seemingly, living his life there on a shelf, never comprehending the fact that he's in a metal shop. Jim doesn't know that. He's just a strip of metal. Hasn't been worked with yet. It's just a strip of metal living on a shelf, has no comprehension of the metal shop that this strip lives within. Now, one day the metal worker walks up to the shelf and lifts up Jim, begins to heat Jim up and bend and twist. And Jim is screaming, "Why are you doing this to me? What is happening? Why is everything changing so much?" Finally, Jim surrenders and he lets go, because what else are you going to do when God is making a move like this in your life? What else are you going to do? So Jim surrenders and he gives in. And the metal worker was just turning Jim into a telescope. But Jim didn't know he was going to be a telescope. He didn't know. How could he have known? He was just a strip of metal on the shelf, living in his comfortable stories he tells himself about who he is and what reality is. And I think in a certain sense, that's what we all have been doing. Coming up with stories, programming ourselves, taking up new beliefs, convincing ourselves of what reality is. But at the end of the day, there is a metal worker amongst us. And right now in your life, I know it might be scary, but you have been picked up off the shelf and you are being turned into a beautiful creation. And you have no idea what it's going to be. Isn't that beautiful? Let go. Give in to this process. Understand that surrender can be so hard sometimes, only when we have absolutely convinced ourselves in our ego that we know what reality is. We know the fundamental principles and laws of what's going on. I know who I am. I am enlightened, right? There's a lot of people in the spiritual community. I've got it all figured out. Got this Messiah complex. Well, I want to let you know that there is the false self within you, which the Bible would refer to as the devil, right? Which we could also say the ego versus the enlightened self. And the false self wants to convince you of all kinds of things to pull you deeper into the story, deeper into the illusion. God is really at play right now in our lives. And I think we'd be wise to listen, let go, and do not be afraid to let go of everything that you thought you knew. Because what you will be shown is the beautiful telescope that was always who you were meant to be. Things that challenge us, people who are driven by falseness, they cannot face the challenge. They're unwilling to stand in it. They'll try to get away from it as quickly as possible. But what you are being created into in your life right now, you can't get away from. And if you can run and you can kick and you can scream, but the truth is making itself known to all of us. And, I was being honestly kind of hard on myself for a while. I'm just going to share some personal stuff with you guys. I hope that's okay. I'm actually going to turn this on so I can start walking around again. Is it working? Yeah, okay, cool. This is like automatic, by the way, guys. I don't have anybody filming this. I've met some people and they're like, "Who's on your team that films those videos? They do such a good job." My camera's doing it. It's a feature. So I was being pretty hard on myself because I realized that I have, without even knowing it, allowed a great deal of falseness to drive my life. I really didn't know. I thought it was true. But that's the truth about falseness. That's the craftiness of the false self. That is the deceiving intelligence of the devil. I think people think that falseness and lies and evil and the devil are going to come with horns and fire, and you're going to feel a horrible energy from them. That's not true. The false self, the devil, is really, really, really good at showing up to us and making us think that they are the light. They're very good at convincing us that they are God. Listen to them, I'm source. They're very good at that. It's a very intelligent, deceiving thing that is at play right now in the world. And I was being so hard on myself, feeling so stupid, so freaking stupid, and crying and trying to make amends. But all God really wants me to do, all God really needs for us to do, is see the truth of what we have been doing, really see it for what it is, and consciously realize I will never be part of that ever again. Boom. Mic drop moment. God invites each of us to stand in the true light. That is what is happening on the planet right now. You are going to see more and more like popcorn, people waking up to the actual truth. We are forgiven when we truly see it for what it is. Because when you really see it for what it is, when you really see the falseness within you that you've been allowing to drive your life, when you really see the true light, there is a true awakening that takes place, and you will never partake in falseness ever again. You will never allow yourself to become a prisoner ever again. The truth is what we need right now. Truth matters most. Now, how are you going to find the truth, right? Don't just take my word for it, right? Oh, Nathan says truth is in Guy Finley's book, Secret of Letting Go. Oh, Nathan says the Bible is the truth now. What is he talking about? You know, I'm just going to suggest it to you in a more real way that I know that the majority of people will be able to receive. There is something happening right now in your life. Do not be afraid to look and see what is happening right here in your life. Don't be afraid to see it. Some of the things you might be seeing right now, because of the consciousness of the truth making such a powerful wave and shift in our reality now, you know, it's a really powerful time to be alive, and it is a little bit scary at first. But letting go, surrendering, and being willing to see what you are trying to be shown right now. Don't refuse to see it. Don't cling to your stories and your beliefs. Don't cling to them. Let them go. We are being shown things right now in our lives that it is like, God is like, wake up. It's time. I'm calling you to be on my team. It is the winning team. The truth always wins. The truth will always win against lies. And the truth is a lot of our society, a lot of our family, a lot of our relationships, and a lot of what we've been doing even to ourselves has to do with lying. We've been lying to ourselves. And if we are really good at it, like the false self is, we would think we were telling ourselves the truth. People are lying to each other. A lot of our reality is based on, you know, in our society, is based on deceit and manipulation. And I'm not saying these things to scare you. I'm saying the truth is winning. The truth is winning. If the truth was able to smack me in the face and wake me up out of how convinced I was of what I was doing was the truth, then I know that anybody can be saved. I know anybody can be saved. I don't care who you are or what you've done. You can be saved and come to the truth, and you really ought to, because the truth is going to win. The truth always wins. Maybe there's a lot of lies, but the truth is so powerful that it dissolves all of it. Because when you see what's really going on, boom. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. If you got a friend or family member, somebody that you know that you feel would really resonate with this message, thank you for sending it their way. It's actually the best thing you could do to support what we do here and help to get these informations and these blessings out into the world. This is a powerful time to be alive. It is a somewhat confusing time, but we're all going to be okay. And remember that everything that is happening is of the hand of God. It really is. So stop resisting. Don't be that strip of metal freaking out and kicking and screaming and trying to get away. Let go and bear beautiful witness to the incredible telescope that you are being turned into right now in the metalworker's shop. Thanks. Much love to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you there.